I wanted to talk about something that I think people know about you, but I want to emphasize a bit more on it because I often get annoyed when people don't recognize how clever a player is and how, your brain works. So it's very difficult sometimes to make people understand that because I'm not having a go at you, but you're not fast. You're not particularly strong. You know what I mean? I'm not saying people will get the ball off you.
I always say that myself.
Saying, but your brain is ahead of a lot of players that I played with. I can say that, I played with a lot of players, but your brain is up there with some of the best players that I played with. And so, I played at Barcelona, as you know, and you did, but what do you see in the field? Why it seems like you always have time on the ball?
I think, as you said, I had to work on it, specifically, and moving the ball quickly, playing 1-2s, because as you said, when you are not quick and strong, you always have to think quicker in a way, and I think that also made me react a bit quicker with my mind because, I was not someone even with a big agility either, so basically I had to rely myself, on playing quickly, trying to play smart, trying to play simple. And then on top of that, I grew up on, being decisive in terms of giving the last ball. Obviously I was very lucky to play with great players like you and players that made it always easy for me, to make for the killer pass. But I think I grew on that as well. And that helped me, to get more confidence on my game. And yeah, there was a peak at Arsenal where I was not slow. I could say, I could have some good runs. I was getting into the box. But yeah, in general, when I was younger, I had to really work on it because otherwise, probably I would have never made it as a professional footballer.
That's one of the first things. I remember the first time you trained with us. And I looked at you and me too, I had bad haircuts when I was young. I still have a bad one now. But that haircut was pretty bad, in fairness. Mine was too, let's all be honest. So I looked at you coming, and in those days, the shirts were too big for anyone, in all fairness. They were just too big. Yeah. But on you, it looked like you had a dress on.
Yeah, it was very skinny.
It was just big. And then I looked at the boss. I said, "What the hell is this?" And the boss was like, "Oh, it's the kid, that I don't know if you watched the World Cup or whatever. I think, was it the World Cup or the Euro?
The under-17, yeah.
Yeah. And then I went, oh, that's him. Yeah, I heard he's like, you finished best player or top goal scorer or something like that, or whatever it was. I know you were up there with the best players of the top."
Both.
I said, I heard his name.
Because I was a year younger, so that's why maybe it was a bit more.
Yeah. So I remember people were talking about you, and so I saw you coming, and I was like, man, I saw the team, and I saw you were up Patrick and Gilberto. I went, oh my gosh, all the very best. And then you started to move the ball around. 1-2. People like Patrick and Gilberto couldn't get near you. And then that's when we knew, because we knew when he could play with us straight away. And then you went on to play, obviously, at the time, I think it was the Carling Cup, you scored. Mm-hmm. And then the rest is history. It was just, I saw it early. And sometimes people do not mention it. And people are rightly so talking about Kevin De Bruyne right now because the guy is an unbelievable,
great player.
It's unbelievable. But for me, you are there with those guys because the way you play, I always been attracted with players that are clever on the ball, and you're just for me one of the most clever players that I played with. Clever, using the ball is just crazy. I remember that day. I don't know. Do you remember that day?
Which one?
The day that your first training session.
Yeah, of course. And I remember as well. In that day, I made a tackle on Canu as well.
Did you?
On Canu as well, and he was so upset with me. But that's the problem. Sometimes this is the good thing or the bad thing when you are young and you don't think where you are. Sometimes you just you're excited and you just want to go there and prove yourself, and you don't even realize, oh no, but I'm playing against World Cup winners here or something. In that moment, you just want to try to do your best, and sometimes the passion or the adrenaline gets the best out of you. But it's great, and it's nice to hear this from you, because it's something that I always wondered how you guys used to see me when I was just like this, and I never really spoke to anyone. I had some comments and stuff from someone, but it's nice to hear that.
Listen, Seisk, at the end of the day, people, as long as you can impress your teammates and you can look at them in their eyes when you go back into the dressing room, and for me, anyone that can help me to win something,
100%.
It is amazing. But if the guy can come on our level and be a leader and have a brain and play the way you played, I mean, it was a no-brainer, you know, and you played straight away. I mean, I wasn't the coach, but the way we were, the coach knew we accepted you straight away, because winners accept winners. That's basically it. We're not going to go around. Winners accept winners. If you're not a winner, you got to go. Arsenal, then you went to Chelsea. I don't want to talk about it, but then you went to Chelsea. Now, listen, there's something that I want to say. You know, I left, you left. But I don't want to put you on the spot, right? But I know you're an Arsenal man. And
I will always be. I will always be. I never deny that in my life, ever.
But I want people to know, because it's very important. Things happen, and I won't go into details of how you arrive at Chelsea. People in the game know how you arrive at Chelsea. But for me, I see you, when I think about you, I see you with a red shirt. I don't see you with a blue shirt. And I know some Chelsea fan might go, oh, come on, you won the league there and everything. I know, I get it. And well done. No, well done. You deserved it. But for me, you're an Arsenal man. And I know you feel like an Arsenal man. And I know it's very difficult for you, because you played for Chelsea and won the league at Chelsea, won at Chelsea, and became also a legend at Chelsea. So, but I know you're an Arsenal man. And
100%. Listen, I would never have thought that I would have mixed feelings between these two teams, ever. I would have never thought that. If you asked me that when I was 23, 24, even 6 months before I joined Chelsea, I would have always said impossible. But you know, you go there, you get to know the people, you get an understanding with the fans, and in the end, you win titles, you become important. You end up having so much fun and having, you know, so much passion and actually love for the club, and I will never deny that. But I completely agree with you. I mean, you never forget where you come from, and I know I come from my hometown and Barcelona academy and stuff, but who really made me, you know, be on the spotlight, on playing football at the top level where I always dreamt of, it's obviously Arsenal. And you know, this is something that I was so lucky to play, you know, not to play, but be with you guys with the invincible season, learn from you guys. I always said that I was so lucky to come in at that moment, because I had only to see at you, Patrick, Saul, Ashley, Dennis, Robert, Freddie. This is unbelievable, you know. And then I was managed to captain the club, and they gave me so much leadership. They gave me basically everything that I needed to prove myself to be a top player. And definitely Arsenal, of course, has so much to say. And I always said, and I think with you the same, that we have a little bit of the same story with him, because he took us, you know, in moments where, and he made us, you know, the players we are, in terms of, you know, he always let the players do what they feel, you know, in terms of playing football. And I think it's great for players like you and me, that, you know, we always like to do our thing. We don't like when, I don't know, maybe I'm talking for you as well, but I think when I've seen you play for so many years, and I played with you, and I know that you like, you know, to be in your comfort zone, sometimes go a little bit on the left, sometimes, you know, be on the middle making runs. But you knew, and Arsene was really good at this, because he let the player have their instincts. You know, now sometimes you see a lot of teams well positioned, you know, every player in their positions, and I think that helped me a lot. And in a way, as you said, I will never deny that I will always be an Arsenal man in my heart, because You know, as much as football have so many turnarounds and stuff, you know, where I started, I never forget. And the connection with the fans either. It was so special.
No,
I've never felt loved anywhere else as much as Arsenal and as well at Chelsea.
no, it is. Like I said, it is a tough one for you to talk about because obviously you became a Chelsea man after, and it's a bit weird to talk about both teams like that.
Yeah,
you
I try to do it naturally, and I always try to be honest. And
yeah,
you know, I always said no one can ever hear me say anything bad about Arsenal. And when we played against Arsenal with Chelsea and we won there, and then you know, and we won the league, and sometimes I celebrate the goals. You know it.
oh
As
yeah,
much, you know.
it is what it
So
is.
some
You're a
people
competitor.
kill me, and you know they want to, but you understand. People
Yeah,
understand
I
that in
do.
that moment, you know.
I
I
do.
would do anything for Chelsea to win, and that's what I
It's
did,
normal.
and proud of it.
You're a competitor. Listen, uh, because I don't think I asked you that ever, or I know that. Who was your favorite player growing up?
Growing up, I used to look up to Guardiola, Pep, and
Oh,
to Figo, Luis Figo.
Luis Figo. But why?
Yeah,
That's not your position.
I know, but he was unbelievable for Barcelona at the time. You know,
Oh
when I
yeah,
was
but then you
growing
was at
up,
Barca. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
why.
yeah. I forgot.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I really, and you know, I really loved players like Romario as well when I was young, Laudrup. Uh,
Oh, for me, I thought you were going to say Laudrup because of how
yeah,
you
he
you
was one
played
of
and you
them.
saw him play.
Oh, amazing,
Because Michael
amazing.
Laudrup for me, and I say
He
it all
was
the
the
time,
10.
and I keep.
Guardiola was the 4.
Yeah,
Guardiola
yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
4. He was the 10. So yeah,
It was it was just it was the original. I keep on saying to everyone, the original fake nine,
yeah, exactly.
kind
Yeah,
of
for sure. He
playing
was
there
moving
and
around there between the
Stoikov and
lines.
Romario
Oh,
or
he was
Begirstein,
sensational. Yeah,
whatever. No,
and
it's
he
true.
had
That's what it
that
was.
last pass that he had was incredible.
No,
His last
Laudrup
pass,
was just.
his vision was something else.
So let me ask you a question. If tomorrow you have to do a 5v5, you're the coach. Who will be the
Okay.
team?
Ooh.
Guys that you played with.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I need a goalkeeper. No, as much as I'm an offensive coach, but I need a goalkeeper. No, what? Or can
Well,
I play with
if you have the ball, you can play with
yeah?
you can if you have the ball, you can play with the
That's
player.
why I don't want I don't want to be bad to goalkeepers. I'll pick a goalkeeper anyway. I think for what we experienced together and the big moments that we have with each other and what he made me and Spain win, I think I would have to go with Iker because we have had so many amazing moments with Spain that he was just incredible in big moments. I know you scored a lot of against him and stuff,
No, no, no,
but
no,
no,
no.
no. But I don't know what you think, but I think Iker in important moments, in key moments of those
Yeah.
moments that everyone say, oh, this is history, or this is, oh my God, everyone remembers. He's got so many, and I think I have to go for him. By the way, you're up front, definitely. I don't even
Oh,
have to
thank
say
you.
that
I don't.
because
I don't.
I will always put you on my all-time 11, 100%, and I always said it, and it's recorded
No,
on
it's because I used
old
to put
interviews.
your
Because
assist. I used to put. I used to make your pass an assist. That's why you're saying this.
of course, but this I'm very grateful for this. And
You know the best one you gave me
which one?
for me, the one against Liverpool at home because we made eye contact. You remember that one? I was
The one where
back.
Carragher tried to, yeah,
That one.
he thought he
'Cause
had it. Yeah, yeah, that was amazing.
we made eye contact. I pretended to go on the wing, and then at one point I went, and then we caught eyes. I love that one. Carry on. Sorry, I cut you.
No, but this is true. I mean, this is the what we were saying about before, connecting, with players and a little bit having the same understanding of football. Then I would have to have Lionel Messi there, 100%, because I think between you and him we would score a few goals. Casillas is the player who will save them, and I have to say this is a player that I think in England everyone talks about him now, and he's gonna leave the Premier League very soon. But I play with him since I'm 16 years old in that World Cup under 17 actually, and it's David Silva. I always had this understanding with him. Don't ask me why. You know these players that sometimes they don't talk about, oh, they are the best in the world, but I had a special feeling with him. And then we grew up and we played the World Cup under 20s as well. We played with the under 21. You know, we had a career, especially with Spain, you know, growing up and then winning everything together. And, you know, like Iniesta and Silva, these are the two players that I always felt, wow, I'm enjoying so much in midfield. You know, like you can pass the ball, you can move. They have the intelligence to know that when I go forward, they will come deep to get it. You know what we were talking about? You don't need to be in the same position. You know, you can change because other players are intelligent enough that they will fill the hole for you. And I just love that. I mean, Iniesta and David Silva, they have to be there for me. I know I'm not playing with any defender, but I don't really care, and I will just go with one goalkeeper that will save everything, two magicians in midfield, and two what
Listen,
can I say? Two goats up front.